All right, so if we pull this back here, right? So from this position, your setup looks good, right? At least from this angle. So when we go to the pull, you do have a little bit of arm bend right there. Okay, but the arm bend kind of stays constant, right? So arm bend, especially with people with longer arms and longer legs, it's not necessarily crazy if it's not caused by other things, right? And it also needs to stay constant throughout, which you have a constant kind of bend in your arm, but you're not continuing to pull once it's kind of initially pulled off the ground, like right there. So some things that really I think you should work on, right, to fix this isn't necessarily changing your grip, but really relying more on your legs through the second pull and transitions around the knee. And what's happening is you're really starting to pull on the bar, probably because you're starting to get back behind the bar too much. So if your balance is falling backwards, right, you're going to pull back on the bar to kind of keep yourself from falling backwards. And that's then what's going to happen is you're going to cut the extension, and then when it's time to get overhead, it's going to kind of be disconnected. So what I would work on is maybe like a pull to a pause right there, and then straighten your arms and tell your body to keep them straight. Then you'd snatch it, right? So maybe like that's a pause, snatch, pause, 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 and then go. Another thing you could do is doing different block heights. Maybe a snatch, a block snatch from there, maybe a block snatch right from there. Or maybe even doing like a hip snatch where you're standing vertically and the bar's at your hips and you're just dipping down, keeping those elbows straight. And then I think too, just because it's like a newer position for you, I think just really working on some overhead squats would help out, right? Because you have a good overhead position, right? I would be careful just not like cranking that chin upwards in the air, kind of just keep it more neutral. Doing snatch balance, overhead squat, behind the neck snatch press, just to reacclimate your body to this overhead position now that your hands are in a little narrower. But I do think, again, that this is a good position with your wrist, and I think as long as you're not arm bending to in response to like a bad technical thing, which I think the only technical thing here is you're just kind of not staying over the bar. You're starting to fall backwards, and you're starting to pull back on the bar to keep yourself from falling backwards. So doing those, pause snatches to really reacclimate yourself to staying over the bar longer. Block snatches to teach your body to use your legs in the pull versus your arms and your back. And then I think just getting more confident and stable, because you had that one. There's a little bit of a hip shift, right, which might also suggest like some unilateral differences in your legs. So maybe working in a little more of like split squats to really address any leg drive stuff, because it looks like you really want to load up that left leg and you kind of fall out of that right leg, which could tell me that maybe you have some strength asymmetries in the legs as well. But all in all, it's pretty good there. So feel free to reach out for any help.